Okay, as you know, we just cannot get enough of Rachelle Rak. Bio, ready? Nickname Sass. Rachelle began her dance training at the age of 2 under the direction of her mother, who is here tonight, Rosalie. Visiting tonight from Pittsburgh. Rachelle is labeled a triple threat on Broadway for her immeasurable talent in dance, singing, and acting. Rachelle was presented with an award by the Dance Educators of America for her contribution to the world of dance. Page 2. Well, they couldn't get me a prompter, so come on. Quick contact. She has had a huge impact on the Broadway community. She was selected for the Broadway Hero Award for her talent and work with many charities, including our partner, Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. Not to mention, off-script total MILF. Let's take a look at her work.
I've done 7 Broadway shows. Being in the ensemble of some of the most amazing shows, they're the most memorable moments of my career. My favorite one, that's deepest to my, closest to my heart, and I would say, is Fosse. It's because Gwen Verdon was in the room. That's why it's special to me.
And I did I Gotcha. And that was the first time I'm going on at the Broadhurst Theater, and Gwen comes in, and now you have to know she only called me my last name, Rak. And she would say, Rak, did you get the notes for Gotcha? And I am scared shitless, and I said, no, Gwen, I didn't get the notes for Gotcha. And she is 70 years old, she's on the Broadhurst Theater, and she goes, I want you to do a big hip roll and then slap the floor. Really? Well, all right, I'm going to do a big hip roll and slap the damn floor. So I'm off. I'm a nervous wreck. I'm about to do I Gotcha for the first time in the Broadhurst Theater, and Gwen Verdon is sitting like at the sound booth. So I do the number, and I get through it, and I slap the damn floor, and I throw my hair, and I had the best time. And afterwards, the dance captain comes up to me, and he says, Rachelle, would you like to get your notes from Gwen? And I, of course, am like, absolutely. And he said, well, first of all, I have to tell you, she was sitting at the sound booth, and she was bouncing in her chair, and she looked to me, and she went, she's great. And she turned back, and she went, 100% trash.
Resilience is a key word for show business. You have to be able to walk in. They say no. You literally your face is cracked, your ego's left on the floor, you grab your dance bag, you get up, you walk out, and you have another audition at 2 o'clock. And you have to be ready and swirl it up and drop swing and sass it up and go. So resilience, I would say, is something that it's either from home, it's from surrounding yourself with positive friends. Right. You know, when you're in New York, be around people that believe in the same, you know, that really get it. Right. But when I was on the road, it was the first time I ever heard of what an AIDS benefit was. You know, I was young, it was the 80s, I knew what was happening in the world, but this was the first time that the entertainers in the show were doing benefits. Right. And they were doing it after their 8 shows a week, and they were finding a club, and they were raising money. And it was the first time I ever went and experienced my first benefit for AIDS. And so that's where my other story began. It all started when I was 17, not just the Broadway, but kind of, you know, being aware of what people are willing to do to help others. My personal hero is my mother. So watching my mother have 3 different dance studio locations at one time, had a house, took care of her mother, you know, raised us the best that she could. She was a perfect example for me, not only as a dancer, but as a human being.
Rachelle Rak, you are a star. You have done so much for this community. Broadway Bears, every year. We are so happy to give you this award. Thank you for sharing your talent, not only tonight, but throughout your career. And I just love you, and you're amazing, and you are a hero. So, here she is, our Broadway hero for 2017, Rachelle Rak.
I'm overwhelmed. I finally made it! Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I just want to say this year I celebrate 30 years since I started in show business. Since I started in Cats and started doing work for Broadway Cares for AIDS, for benefits. I say LGBTQ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I support all of you. I am in your corner forever. I love all of you, and I'm so grateful. My agent is here tonight, Lucille DeCampley, my friend Sandy Coit, who's my employer, and my mother, who taught me about dancing, but who taught me about being a good and loyal and humble and loving, kind person. Rosaline, I am so grateful. Thank you. Rosaline Kennett. At the hero, Michael Cavanaugh, I know you're like, her clock is ticking, honey. Get her off the stage. Thank you so much for honoring me. I will never forget it. I was videoing because my daughter will get to see this one day, and she will know what this meant to her mother. Thank you.
Gabi Saivatto joined the world-renowned Ballet West in 2014 and was promoted to demi-soloist just this year. The piece you are about to see, entitled I'm a Star, is choreographed by Trevor Nauman. Gabi is joined once again by the lovely Seeley Stephens on vocals.
Someone give me a chance, just watch me break through. Deserve to be seen, the street feels way overdue. Was born to perform more than anyone knows. I am passionate guts, I want this and it shows. I have fought, I have cried, I've been broke, I've been bruised. Yet at the end of the day, this life is what I still choose. I am strong, I am dense, all I need is a break. This is all that I am, someone give me the give me a chance, you'll discover a star. I will risk everything if that's what it takes. I can be what you want, I know all that's at stake. All the strength and the will, all the vigor and fight. When I stand on that stage, watch my spirit take flight. There's a dream I anticipated. Just you wait, 'cause you know have dreamt wide awake. I have dreamt with my heart. All I need is a break so that the real dream can start. Cause I've worked way too hard to be brushed up just yet. Time to prove to the world I'm someone not to forget. I can't let all my dreams go nowhere. I won't stop till the day that I finally get there. To see my name bright lights that are on the marquee. All I need from you now is to wake up and see. I must
You can't see the backstage, but they're like freaking out. Seeley, Gabi. Wow. Amazing. All right, so I've been excited to see this performance all night. And in fact, I'm going to come around and watch it from the bottom of the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, our Ballet Hero Award recipient, James Whiteside. He's here with an original piece which he composed and choreographed on his own. And when I asked him to describe it, he called it a banger, so we'll see what that means. James is joined by Cassandra Trenary, like Canary, a soloist at ABT. Get ready for it. Put it together. James Whiteside and Cassandra Wallflower.
If I could burn every sofa up in this bitch, I'd do it. So possums couldn't be post up. I'd tell that bitch keep moving. When you're back up on the wall. When you're back up on the wall. When you're back up on the wall. Wallflower. So while you're waiting for bottle service, I bought the bar. And while you rotting your booth, I own the fucking bar. When you're back up on the wall. When you're back up on the wall. When you're back up on the wall. Wallflower. We don't waste no time. We snap to the left, then we kick to the right. Three-step turn, baby, one more time. Knock that cap, come on, do it all night. We do the hot play, Titanic like Leo and Kate. Go and get up, I can do this all day. Count me in, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't waste no time. We snap to the left, then we kick to the right. Three-step turn, baby, one more time. Knock that cap, come on, do it all night. We do the hot play, Titanic like Leo and Kate. Go and get up, I can do this all day. Count me in like 5, 6, 7, 8. When you're back up on the wall. When you're back up on the wall. When you're back up on the wall. Wallflower. When you're back up on the wall. When you're back up on the wall. When you're back up on the wall. Wallflower.
Cassandra Trenary. Brought to you by ABT.